Will this be happening to a senior royal over here in the United Kingdom? Apparently, not a chance. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. And thank you, by the way, for your lovely comments on Copacabana and Barry Manilow being the most expensive musical at that point in the 1980s to be filmed by a television station. If you have seen clips of it, you can understand exactly where the money went. He really put a lot into the production of that. And I thought it looked marvellous and still retains a lot of fun today. And of course, for dedicated Barry fans, as I pointed out, he's back here in London for some alleged final dates at the London Palladium next spring. Let's hope they're not actually final though. He's very much loved over here in the United Kingdom, as I'm sure he is around the world. Now, some shock royal news, in fact, that really did shock a lot of people just over the new year, was the Queen of Denmark, who decided to step down from her role. A lot of people were stunned by this, lots of speculation as to why and how and what was the problem and all this sort of stuff. Now, when you look in her background, of course, you can see she's been already a forward thinker, a bit of a radical and a bit of a rebel, you know, that's the way the media have painted her at least, but nonetheless a definite outright there queen. And of course a lot of people are saying that there are a lot of sort of darker shadows in the background. As with anybody who steps down from a particular royal role, it's a difficult time. Even our very own royal history with Edward and Mrs Simpson, it never really played out to the full fore, because as we know, the ex-king then couldn't really get over the fact that he didn't have the affordabilities that really he felt as an ex-royal should have. Remind you of anybody? History truly repeated itself. What's interesting here though is this. You see, everybody's now speculating, will His Majesty the King, King Charles III, now follow suit? The speculation is that of course he would like his eldest son and of course the Princess of Wales, Catherine, to take on the mantle perhaps in a few years, step aside. Well, I've been assured by many people in those very close quarters that that simply wouldn't be the case. This is, of course, his sort of tradition that is followed on by his late mother, our wonderful Queen Elizabeth II. There was no way that she was going to abdicate. And some might suggest, of course, that she left at the absolute right time, in a place that she loved, up in Scotland, and fulfilling her final royal duties by signing in the Right Honourable British Prime Minister Liz Truss as one of her many final duties on that particular 2 days. Very heartbreaking to look at those pictures. So for all of those people out there saying, oh yes, well, will His Majesty the King follow suit? Let me tell you, apparently the Prince and Princess of Wales are not keen on this idea. They don't want to take on the mantle any earlier than really it has to be. And really, as the Prince of Wales famously said, yes, you know, it's a job and he knows inevitable that at some point it will become his job. No one really wants to take the job because it means that you lose a loved one in order to get that place. And as we saw recently with the sad passing of Queen Elizabeth II, you saw the pictures of course, Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, and of course deeply etched sorrowfulness on the King's face, along with all of her children. It's very hard to take. They know it's their place in history, but King Charles has no plans to remove himself from the throne after many years of training and waiting for this particular role. Just putting to the end to all that speculation out there. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.